Hello, this is MV, broadcasting from Cardiff, Wales. This is a very express tutorial on how to get workshop items into your Out of the Park Baseball 24. The reason why I'm doing this, somebody asked me recently how to do that in the chat, and I directed them immediately to Beatles Eternity's channel because he has an amazing set of tutorials on Out of the Park, Action PC, baseball, out of the park 23, 24, even 22. In fact, he's got many tutorials as Steve. There's Beatles. If you're looking for Action PC, again, Beatles Eternally, but also Steve Tate. If you're looking for App Bar, Baseball for Windows, Beatles Eternally, again, has many tutorials, as does Robbie Wartburg, if you type that in. Wartburg, as in W-A-R-T. I think it's U-R-G or E-R-G. But Robbie Wartburg does some great tutorials. But this is a quick one. Someone directly asked me, like I said, directed to the right place. But if that person, who chatted to me twice now, is looking for how to do it, I've also shown it here very quickly. So if you've got the game Out of the Park 24 Baseball, and you've got the Steam client downloaded, there you can see mine quite easily, and my visible library, well, I've got a lot more games hidden. You will see that. So I go very quickly to my Out of the Park Baseball here. It'll say Store Page, Community Hub, Points, Shop, Discussions, Guides, Workshop. So the interesting thing when you do this is that you will see a variety of workshop items for Out of the Park 24. And you'll need this if you want to add that extra color, flair, depth of immersion to your game. You can download it directly from the Out of the Park Baseball forums, which I've been a part of for 20 years, but I find it so much easier just to come here. So specifically, I'm going to show you how to download from here. Just go to Out of the Park Baseball 23, same thing if you have that version of the game. You'll see these tabs here, and one of them is Workshop. I'll quickly show you that one. And last year there was a variety of workshop items you could download. Face Gen packs, and there's a stadium one which I've been asked for by Mike Silver, or Silvam as I call him. Different quick starts that you can go into your game, and different skins. You can tally it by most subscribed or most recent. And again, if you're not familiar with Steam, that is how these games tend to work. So I'll go back on to Out of the Park 24, and we're specifically looking for what we can download in terms of stadiums. So this is what I did. I came here to the Workshop tab. It opened up a home page for that, and you can see which are the most popular items, what people are discussing, and so on and so forth. But in my case, you can see I've subscribed to 4 different workshop items. That's all you've got to do. Find what you're looking for and press subscribe. That tells your game eventually where to look when it wants to upload it into your own game. So I've subscribed to these 4. I've got all the stadiums, which are beautifully crafted by Mike Silver, or Silvam as I call him. Just beautifully rendered, and I think he's updated it this year. I've got all the uniforms and logos and jersey fonts, which is really helpful. I really enjoy those. Puts again that extra depth of immersion. Skin files, which means I don't always like the black generic one it comes with, the background. I've gone for some lighter skins, and I've also gone for the Face Gen pack, which I've had Face Gen for many years. Can do a very satisfactory, or very good in most cases, since it's been updated a lot, skin representation. I think that's Big Puppy, I'm sure that is. It looks like David Ortiz to me, and a pretty good version of him. Some people use the real photos. I've done that also in the past, but this year I'm quite liking the uniform stuff, and the Face Gen goes beautifully with that. So I'm quite happy with it. So that's where you get them from. So now how do you actually do it? There's my mousy dread. I'm known as MV. So if I go back a step back to where we were. Back again. So, out of part 24, these are the steps. Go to workshop, click. Scroll down, and I can use browse items is what I want. And there they are. But as I've already done these, I'm going to show you what you would do if you haven't done these. I haven't done the classic skin or the dark skin. I'm not going to go with the dark skin, but today I'm going to choose to press, I want the classic skin, which I think is the brown wooden one. So I do that, click it, as I've done, and then I press subscribe. Now I'm subscribed to it. Good, it's as simple as that. Now what I now need to do is go into the game and tell it to download it from Steam. See, it's already downloading to my game in the background. If I go to Steam, go to my game now. If you can see down the bottom, it says Workshop Central, which has been an add-on, or it was an add-on many years ago. Many people could put many things there, but this is where we're going to find it. Go to Workshop Central. I don't think mine is downloaded yet. Yes, it has. So as you see, I've got 5 items there. All of them say subscribe because they all are subscribed. But I've already downloaded the light, background, the historical uniforms, complete universe face gen, and the stadiums. And this particular person who was asking me the question was asking for Major League stadiums. So you can see I've done it. But to do it, when he does it or when you do it, I want to show you now. So I click on skin, this is how you do it. So click on that, it will say this is downloaded, which it has been. But now I have to install it into the game. This is the lights classic skin, which I think is brown. That's very light, I love that one. So if you just press this item, it's done, click here to install it. That's all you need to do. So it's downloaded. Oh, that was quick. I hope it worked. Do that again. That was very quick. Not because it's a skin only. Okay, so that's now done. So the classic skin is now downloaded. So it's as simple as that. Just to repeat, I went to Steam Workshop. I went to browse items. I can see what I want. You can browse it and sort it by most popular or most recent. In this case, there are only a few at the moment. I don't think there's more than these, really. As you can see, I've downloaded the 5 now, including that one. So if you're doing it and you want the stadiums, you click stadiums. If you wanted the uniforms, you click uniforms. But either way, it will now download into the game. Go to Workshop, like I said. Then click on the one you want and then install it. The stadium one takes a while, the jersey one takes a while. I think the face gen one takes the longest because it's obviously a bigger file. Press close. Now let's see if I can find that skin. So I'm going to start a new game. Which one do I? I'll just start a very quick one. Oh my god, which one? I didn't think of this one first. Let's say I want to start a new quick start game. And I want to do US Baseball League. It's got 40 years. It's just purely fictional. I'm going to call this MV Tutorial. Can I spell it right? Like I said, you can get better tutorials, I think, with the Beatles Eternally channel. He does loads, and I've learned from Beatles, even though I've been in this game for 20 years. I've still learned things like historical imports and fictional teams and, you know, messing around with different files. He's exceptional. But this is for those who just want a quick fix, which Beatles does also. So he's the man who showed me everything I want to know about baseball all over again, because I'd fallen out of love with the sport. I definitely recommend his channel. Or if you really want to get deep into stuff on Action PC, his equivalent would be Steve Tate on Action PC, who goes deep into the ocean with what he's able to do with his wizardry with Action PC. There are many others as well who love these games and other games as well. But for that particular request, I've had it twice now. I thought I'd build this this stream, very quickly. So forgive my accent, but here we go. So this is a league where I'm playing just fictional. I think you could change the name. I think the person who asked the question knows. I tend to go in commish mode because I like commish mode. And then press OK. Now then, it's set me the game up. To get the skin, I have a lot of options, which I didn't think of before. There's the workshop central, I can access it if I want to. Not that I need to, there's a way to load the skin, which might be under game settings, I think. But the background at the moment is probably the one I've got it default set on. I'll just double check everything. File. Help, settings, possibly. Yep, there we are. So go to settings, there's a variety of settings you could change. So for example, if you didn't want to use, let's have a look here. You want to change around some of the stuff, which I already do anyway. Oh, I didn't see this before. Animated high quality one, that one. Audience animation, oh, I don't like, I didn't see this before. So we want to do interface, skin. Mine's set to OOTP light, but what we're looking for is out of the park classic. There it is. It's there. Downloaded. So now we have to get it sorted. Oh, yes. This is the one I'm familiar with from, I think it was Out of the Park 3.5 had this. I've not used to use it since then. We're talking 17 years, so thank you very much for that request. Has a nice wooden background, I call it. Gives it a bit of a oldish feel. I like the white background as well. But yeah, this is the first time I've actually... In fact, this reminds me of... Oh, what was that classic game called on the old Amigas? Oh, gosh, I can see it now. Hardball. I think it was Hardball 4. And I loved Hardball, Hardball 3 particularly. So anyway, that is a quick tutorial on how to download the right skins. Not the right skins, skins you want. It could have been uniforms, it could have been so many different things. But in this particular case, the person asked me for stadiums. Because I've already got the stadiums, I just show you how to do it using another thing, which is skins. But it's the same process, exactly the same process. So hopefully that's all you need to get your skins in, or in this case stadiums will be the same process. It's just be stadiums. And while I'm on stadiums, these are fictional teams, so I doubt they've got any ballparks, recognizable ballparks anyway. But I think even then you can do that if you wanted to import them, because they're in the game anyway. Pictures and coordinates, I'm not have to change anything. 3D model. There's your 3D model, which I think the requester already knows this, but I do believe there's a way in which you can import your own. And while I'm here, no thanks, I want to see a ballpark, the ballpark creator. I think it's, here it is, ballpark construction kit. So while I'm at this, I've actually done the main purpose of the stream, but while I'm here, build your own ballpark, which is again on the theme of ballparks. If you want to create your own, which I think the requester does know, you do it this way or in a team one, but let's see if I can do one on my own. Not done this for a couple of years. I think it's improved since I last did it. So welcome to the 3D ballpark construction kit. In the first step, you can choose the basic shape of your ballpark, select between a major or minor league ballpark, and also choose between several field textures. So we want a major league ballpark, that's fine. Shape, let's have a look at the shapes. 1. Ooh, there it is. 2. I always like an Ebbets Field. It's my favourite ballpark of all time. Oh, and Shea Stadium. 3, I like 3. Not a big fan of 4. 5. Oh, not too bad. So if I can get an Ebbets Field to this, I'll be very happy, which means the right field is fine, but this has to be lower just a bit. Go to step 2. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, is it field texture? So you can have, Don't have a problem with any of this stuff. Do like that one. Yeah, I like 4, so let's go with 4. Background, it's saying background, so what does that do? Oh, I see. So the background, you can see in the background the actual sort of 3D background, which won't make any difference in the game. So okay, let's go to step 2. Not done this on my own yourself. Watch Beatles eternally do it on his channel. So left field, well, that'll be this, wouldn't it? 3 tier stands, is that it? 1, 2, 3, or is it here? We shall see. Okay, good. So now I kind of know how Ebbets looked, dot like that. So slope stands would be probably a stand with lights. Yes, I like that. Center field probably be, where is the building? Stand with lights. Yep, got it. Oh, I'm already liking this already. Oh, I do like this. Right center field will be much lower. So maybe a stands with lights, possibly. No, let's go for bleachers. Better. The grassy knoll. Ooh, spooky. 3 stands with bullpen. Not quite Ebbets Field, is it? Because it's got stands and it has that Abe Stark thing. But let's have a look if we can get something going there. Billboard. No. Although I don't mind it if I can get rid of bleachers. I like that better. And I like, it's kind of got an Ebbets feel to it. I like this though. I like this area here. Right field is okay. Yep. So what about here though? What's that called? So that's left field. Stand with lights. Stand with lights. Yep. What about the behind the catcher? Okay. Go to step 3. Step 3 lets you configure the outfield fence. Okay. I'm not bothered with that. That's all good. Step 4. Field. Okay. We're going to call this one MV Field. Capacity. Yes, we're going to cork that up. We're going to get 45,000 people in. You know what I mean? The city. Name me a city in West Virginia, please. But I don't know any. Assign a team. That's all good. So the league is the UBL. We're going to give this to the New York Battalion. And it's as easy as that. Save ballpark. Now, how do you create this? I don't know. But the 3D ballpark model should be the same as what I just created. So, yes. Now then, to get really down and dirty with this, we can play around with the cameras. I'm not feeling this bit here though. This whole bit there. I'm hoping someone could show me how to do that. Part profile. Yes, good. Here's the not very good for the old home runs, is it? Got to change that. How do we do that? Can I just put 0.999 and 0.999? No. Anyway, you can play around with all of this stuff, which I quite like. It's a little bit more complex. Oh, you can create your own pictures, obviously, from that. Where are the park profile again? I want... see, this I like. Open ballpark, grass, that's fine. Auto-calculate factors. Okay, it's gone back to that. So this is not going to be a hitter's park. It'll be a hitter's park for average. But not necessarily... Okay, so that's all good. Actions, add new park, auto arrange all locations. No. Just got so many different things in it. So just press finish. And that's for New York, isn't it? So finish. Okay, so go back to here. Team home screen. And we want the New York battalions. So it's info, ballpark, edit ballpark. We want it to be the 3D model. This is just to create your own stuff, and there's always these cameras to reset. I'm not going to play around with this today. But there's my sort of, in my memory, Ebbets Field sort of thing, which is very rudimentary. But we've got to aid the battalion. Let's go to modify colors and uniforms. Again, these are all can be downloaded via the uniforms. If you want them to use a specific one, can be all downloaded via the workshop. So modify colors and uniform. They're playing in a sort of a maroon red. But as you can see here, I don't like this stuff. I don't even like their pants, to tell you the truth. Let's just see if we can do something about that. Design, thin stripes. We don't want that. We want standard. Good. Now the logo, I don't like that in particular because I'm quite fussy. So font, go to select, and I can choose any of the fonts from any of these teams. The Red Sox would probably have the best colors for that sort of thing. Yes, much better. See, now look at that. Look at that. Nice. Let's go to away. I'm already feeling the battalions already. Let's go with thin stripes. No, we want standard. Excellent. We want them to have high socks because I like high socks, the old school stuff. And again, select colors because that font is too red. I could choose, for example, the Boston Bean Eaters. That doesn't change a thing because the Bean Eaters probably didn't have any colors. Let's go to the Orioles. This is orange for Orioles. We're not doing that today. The Diamondbacks. Let's have a look and see how that looks. Yuck. Ugh. Horrible. The Dodgers, my boys. Nope. Probably because the Dodgers didn't have any numbers at the time. I suspect they did. But it doesn't match well with this template. The Robins. Anyway, the point is you can play around with this to your heart's content. I absolutely love it. I wish they did the Reds in a better font. Oh, for some reason, nothing's happening now. Let's just try one with a red font, shall we? Cleveland Indians, maybe? And all of a sudden, decided not to work. Because I want pants, that's why. Jersey is what I want. Apologies. Let's now do that. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So put it on jersey and then start playing with it. You can also adjust the caps as well. Something that I learnt from trial and error. Oh, I do like a Mets, you know. I'm a big Mets fan, so that works for me. Let's try this. Boston Bees. Nah. Cincinnati Reds. Apologies for the trains going by outside. I live near a train line. The Dodgers. No, so I need a purple colour or a yellow colour. Because I've not even got my chat on today, so I can't see if anyone's in the chat. But like I said, the expert is Beatles Eternally. Go to that channel. Look at that Pirates one. That looks really good. Don't want the Braves. Don't want the Orioles. What do the Americans look like? What's that look like? Ugh. I do not like that red. Just bear with me while I fool around with this. Colt 45s, maybe? It's those socks. That's what it is. I will try... oh my god. Phillies. That's got to be it. Yeah, that'll do. Ugh. Bit too red. But then if I don't like the uniform, I believe I can change the jerseys. These are the Butler Yankees. Don't want that, but that's just showing I can change it. I've never played around with this before, actually. Wow, so all the jerseys are here for all the... Right, so now we've got something to play with. Let's try a Reds away jersey. But it has a Cincinnati across the front. I don't want that. They're a New York team. So, let's reboot New York. Let's try New York. Yankees, Mets, Highlanders, Giants. I like the Giants uniforms of old. Just going down here the list. New York, New York. Because there's too many there, I have to go to filter and then type in New York. And then start playing around with some of this stuff. Ooh, bit rough and ready. So there are some presets in there, obviously I'm playing around with. Anyway, I've said my bit. I just want to get rid of what I just put. So auto load. Generate random, how about that? I just took it back to normal, that's perfect, I don't mind that. So there's the New York Battalion, you know. In fact, I'm going to change that name in my thing. And yeah, it just while I'm on here, again, while I'm on here, I might as well. There's so many things I like to set up at the beginning. This is a fictional league, so one of the things I like to do is put the DH on. It's on. Dynamic Evolving League. If it was a historic league, I'd definitely put historical rookies, so they get drafted onto their right teams rather than it be a draft. It just automatically puts them on the right team. That's the first thing I tend to do in here. Can't think of anything else. DH, automatic, but this is a fictional draft. I don't think I'd do anything else. Face gen, I can, if you don't want to use fictional pictures, you can then get it to just import automatically what was in your picture file, but that comes from using the right download from the website, the proper forum website. Rating scale, I like 20 to 80, but I've seen others do different, so I've just gotten so used to it that I tend to stick with it, so I'll stick with it. Let's have a look. Well, good. Finished today. Tutorial's nearly ending. Let me just take a look at this battalion team, by the way, just to see what they are actually like, just for laughs. There's all fictional pictures. Blake Mann, 34 years old. Carlos Rodriguez, a pitcher, right-hander, big tall one as well. Brandon Titrold. And by the way, let's just see that stadium in the game. We've already seen the skin. We want the New York Battalion. As you know, we want Long Beach Bay Sox versus the New York Battalion. There we are. Hopefully we should see them in their long stockings. And there's the battalion there. Star man is called Blake Mann. Blake Mann is their star boy. Not much else to think about on this side though. They look a bit strong. Angel Mendoza leads off. Al Panazola is number 3 batter. Tobias Ramirez. Bit old though, old Tobias, but he looks like he's got history. This game is coming with 40 years of history, so he's got some history. So he's got his black ink. First time I've seen that. Wow. Jaws. Wow, I did not see this before. You know, I play a lot of historical stuff. I just did not see that before. Wow, the black ink and the grey ink. I've never heard of grey ink, but I've never seen it in the game, so that's awesome. And then let's just have a quick innings of that. Like the logos, very well done. That's interesting. That's not a bad field. My vision of Ebbets, I'm sure Ebbets Field has a left centre field, left field of that. That's not bad. From my naked, well, not my naked eye, because I'm not looking at anything. Look at those players on the field. They look awesome. Wow, I'm ready to get into my league. Look at that. That looks awesome. I didn't even change the seat colourings, which I could have. But I love that, the dust on the... Is that dust or soil? Here's the pitch from Nieves. Into the hole. One away. I don't know. It just looks really good. I'm immersed. So, it just feels like Ebbets Field. All you're missing here is the Abe Stark sign and obviously the right measurements, which I have to figure out. I don't think that's a bad effort, actually. That one's hit to centre field. Montiel comes after it and has it. One away for the battalion. I'm getting into my commentary. Two away for the battalion. Cortez Nieves. That was hit the first. Easily taken at first base by the star man. I really like this pitch, this stadium. Even if I do say so myself. So Blake Hawkins is up now for the Bay Sox. Let's have a look at Bay Hawkins. Who is this guy? Hawkins looks like a veteran. He's from Chesapeake, Virginia. Who would have thought? Who was chosen? Not West Virginia. There's an in-joke with that. Anyone watching from the Beatles Eternally community, I call it, will see the irony in that. He was chosen in 1994. He learned many different pitches, but failed to really master any of them. Very good control and would keep his walks down. But his stuff is well below average. Hawkins should have no trouble filling a role in the middle or back of any rotation. He may have trouble getting righties out. I love the scale report. That's been in there from the very first. I think I had the second ever, which is in 1999. I had that at the time. That scouting report was what lured me in. I thought it was really clever. That's gone to centre field. Mendoza has it, and that's one away. Let's look at some of these names when you don't know them. Kind of reminds me when I first started to look at the Negro Leagues. You know, so Blake Hawkins goes at it now. Flores hits it down to third. That's easily picked up at the third base by Cardenas. So, interesting, the names. And of course, you know, you can mess around with the frequency of certain nationalities or names or ethnicities. It's just such a deep game. Here's Blake Mann, the star, big slugger for New York. Looking at this field. And there he goes, on cue. It's to center field, and Mendoza has it. Excuse me. And that is the end of the inning. Top of the second inning. Cortez Nieves. Let's look at old Cortez, shall we? Scouting book, 28 years old. Currently playing for the New York Battalion. His repertoire consists of a wicked curveball. Okay. If you say so, Scout. A good changeup and a legit fastball. He compensates for subpar stuff with pinpoint command down in the zone. Nieves, that's it. Nieves should have success at the back end. So two teams not really good on pitching. But I'm just marveling at this stadium. So let's have a little construction kit camera. Nay, we don't want that. We want wide camera. Oops. That's a first again. Got a wide camera. Something feel close camera. Where is it? Something feels close. Now that looks cool. That just looks the dogs. That looks absolutely. And with dogs in UK parlance is the dog's bollocks. Excuse my French. Which means really nice. Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Nieves. Straight away I'm liking it because the colour works for me. There's Nieves. Struck out to. What's so different? I don't know. Is it because I've been playing my PS5 today? And my eyes are just thinking this is marvellous. Got in trouble at work today, didn't I? Yeah. The silly fool. He asked me. He said it's imperative to get some data across. Well, how am I supposed to know it's imperative if you don't put it in my diary? Idiot. Anyway, my management days are long gone. And I struggle with people who don't manage very well. So, it's a bit of my frustration, really. Don't work for people who crush your soul, is what I say. So I'll be saying bye-bye to that job. Freelance it is, but still, it's annoying. There we go. So anyway, that's the end of the broadcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. It has been fun to... The initial purpose of the stream was just to talk about... why am I saying I know better than that. It's to talk around setting up Stadia or downloading the stadiums that are in the workshop. As I said, and I'll keep reiterating, Beatles Eternally is the master at that, and not only that, other games as well. I've made my pitch for those guys earlier on, Steve Tate for Action PC in particular, but also Beatles Eternally, and also all things APBA, Baseball for Windows, you can find on Beatles Eternally channel, and Robbie Workbook's channel. And then finally, another game I downloaded but never really got into. It's decent in terms of play-by-play. What's that other one called? What's it called? Really famous. Not Digital Diamond. I'm not a big fan of that. It's the other one. Diamond Mind. That's it. I like Diamond Mind. I bought quite a few sets for it. Thank you, Beatles. But I really haven't played it because Action has taken up my time. Baseball for Windows also has taken up some time. But between Out of the Park Baseball and between that and Action, it's really, blown me away. Out of the Park because I've always enjoyed that game, but it's really stepped up a notch. But also, the game that I've really been drawn to is Action PC. So much you can do. Very competitive league I'm in at the moment, which I should win, to be fair. Just kidding. I can't even see who's in the chat. If there is anyone in the chat. I don't want to clash with anyone else because I know RGL Network is doing his championship series 1988, and I will dashing over there very shortly to give him support, but also because he damn well calls a damn good game. That's RGL Network. There's Al Red Sox fan who I haven't seen broadcast baseball as much lately. I'd love to see him do that more because he's just been an inspiration, along with Beatles and Steve and many others. Big shout out if you're there, Big Clue. I can't see you. Or anyone else, Ken Castro, anyone else, I can't see you. I'm going to try and get online in a minute. My other laptop is down and my other screen is down, so I'm going via my mobile. But this is just MV messing around with not only being an instructional stream, but just messing around with Stone. Does this look like Ebbets Field? That's what I want to know. Does it look close? Is it a representation? Although we've got great ones, we can download from MLB The Show. I've got MLB The Show on PS4 and PS5, and I've got the PS4 version on PS5. So I just have to learn how to download those. But I think this is pretty good. Again, if I say so myself, I'm quite pleased with it, to be fair. As we say, well, to be fair, in a minute I shall be transferring over. Let me just see if I can see anyone online. If you're not online, that's all good. Hopefully you catch it on the other side later on. I'm quite pleased with it, to be fair. So it's all good. I think everyone's over at RGO Networks. So I shall disappear, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video, especially for that one person who did request this twice. Then hopefully you've learned something today.